Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So this video is part 13 of the MCQ series of all sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics. So again, if you have not watched the previous parts, I highly suggest you do so before watching this video. And I have also included Hindi translations for some of the viewers to understand the content a little bit better. So without further ado, let's start off with the first question. Mangrove are plants that have. So what do mangrove plants have? Do they have modified roots, modified stems, respiratory roots, or respiratory stems? And the correct answer here is respiratory roots. Mangrove possesses breathing roots. These plants grow in marshy areas which have clayey soil. So in clayey soils, plants face deficiency of oxygen. Thus, to obtain oxygen, their roots grow upwards. Next question. Which physical quantity is measured in Siemens? Is it electrical potential, electrical conductance, magnetic flux, or refractive index? And once again, the symbol for Siemens is a capital S. And the right answer here is electrical conductance. The Siemens is the derived unit of electrical conductance in the International System of Units. Moving on. Which chemical compound is used in making dyes? Is it potassium bromide, potassium chloride, potassium carbonate, or potassium sulfate? So which is the chemical compound in making dyes? And the right answer here is potassium carbonate. Moving on to the next question. The phenomenon which causes mirage is it total internal reflection, diffraction, polarization, or interference? So the phenomenon which causes mirage is total internal reflection. Mirage is caused due to total internal reflection of light by the various layers of air. It is an optical illusion which is responsible for the appearance of the water layer at short distance in a desert or the road. So mirage is an example of total internal reflection which occurs due to atmospheric refraction. Moving on. The basic process taking place in nuclear reactor is. So what is the process that is taking place in nuclear reactor? Is it nuclear fusion or nuclear fission, or is it radioactivity or cooling? So the basic process that takes place in a nuclear reactor is known as nuclear fission. The main job of a reactor is to house and control nuclear fission, which is the process where atoms split and release energy. Next question. Who invented the contact lens? Was it Enrico Fermi, Sanford Fleming, Benoit Fornerion, or F.A. Muller? So out of these options, who invented the contact lens? Muller was a German glassblower that used Herschel's idea to come up with the first known glass contact lens back in 1887. Next question. What type of friction force is exerted between two surfaces in relative motion? Is it rolling friction, kinetic friction, static friction, or limiting friction? So the type of friction force that is exerted between two surfaces in relative motion is known as kinetic friction. Kinetic friction is defined as a force that acts between moving surfaces. A body moving on the surface experiences a force in the opposite direction of its movement. The magnitude of the force will depend on the coefficient of kinetic friction between the two materials. Moving on. A B-type and N-type semiconductor can be obtained by doping pure silicon with. So what is it? Is it boron and phosphorus, indium and aluminium, sodium and magnesium, or phosphorus and sodium? And the right answer here is indium and aluminium. A B-type and N-type semiconductor can be obtained by doping pure silicon with indium and aluminium. And I have a little explanation written out for note-taking. The N-type impurity loses its extra valence electron easily when added to a semiconductor material, and in doing so, it increases the conductivity of the material by contributing a free electron. So this type of impurity has 5 valence electrons. So for N-type doping, we use indium, whereas for a B-type doping, we use atoms with valence electron, which is aluminium. Moving on. The unit of which physical quantity is not Pascal. So out of these options, which does not use the unit Pascal? Is it moment of inertia, pressure, stress, or Young's modulus? Again, if you've seen the previous parts, you would know that Pascal is a unit for pressure, stress, and Young models, which therefore eliminates moment of inertia. Pascal is the SI unit of pressure and stress, and most commonly used as the unit of Young modulus, which is defined as force of one end that is exerted on unit area. Therefore, moment of inertia is not a Pascal unit. The unit for moment of inertia is mass times length squared. Next question. The behavior of water around 4 degrees Celsius temperature is called as blank expansion. So is it linear expansion, cubical expansion, thermal expansion, or anomalous expansion? The right answer here is anomalous expansion. The anomalous expansion of water is an abnormal property of water whereby it expands instead of contracting when the temperature grows from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius and it becomes less dense. Next question. Who invented helicopter? So who's the inventor of helicopter? Was it Copernicus, Sikorsky, Cockerell, or Drinker? So who out of these names is the inventor of the helicopter? And the right answer here is Sikorsky. Igor Sikorsky was a Russian-American aviation pioneer in both helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft. Moving on. Cadmium pollution is associated with which of the following? So cadmium is again denoted as. So what is cadmium pollution associated with? Is it associated with Minamata disease, Blackfoot disease, Itai disease, or dyslexia? Again, in my previous video, I have mentioned that Minamata disease is associated with mercury pollution. But in this case, it's asking for cadmium pollution. And the correct answer here is Itai disease. Itai directly translates to it hurts disease, which was the name given to the mass cadmium poisoning. Itai disease is caused by cadmium exposure produced as a result of human activities related to industrialization. This condition was first recognized in Japan in the 1960s. Itai disease is characterized by osteomalacia with severe bone pain and is associated with renal tubular dysfunction. Next question. The device used for the detection and measurement of all types of radiations is. In this case, the radiations are alpha, beta, and gamma. So the device used to detect these radiations, is it Geiger counter, polarimeter, calorimeter, or radiometer? And the correct answer here is Geiger counter. Geiger counter was named after Hans Geiger, a German scientist from the early 1900s who worked on detecting radiation. Next question. For what is radiocarbon dating technique used for? Is radiocarbon dating technique used for estimating soil contamination, estimating amount of water in soil, estimating amount of water in fossils, or is it to estimate age of fossils, or estimating the quality of soil? So radiocarbon dating technique is used to estimate the age of fossils. Radiocarbon dating is a technique used by scientists to learn the age of biological specimens. Next question. Major poisonous pollutant from automobile exhaust, is it carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, or none? So which of these chemicals is a pollutant from automobile exhaust? And the right answer here is carbon monoxide. Internal combustion gasoline engines produce extremely high carbon monoxide concentrations. Next question. Which microorganism causes hepatitis B? So is it bacteria, virus, protozoa, or none? So the cause of hepatitis B is bacteria. Hepatitis B infection is caused by hepatitis B virus, which is also abbreviated as HBV. The virus is passed from person to person through blood, semen, or other blood fluids. So we're almost halfway through the video. If you're liking this type of content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Which of the following glands is an example of endocrine gland? Out of these options, which is an endocrine gland? Is it the thyroid gland, salivary gland, sweat glands, or mucus glands? And the right answer here is thyroid glands. The thyroid gland is an endocrine gland which is located in our neck. In the thyroid glands, two hormones are secreted into blood, and these are the thyroxine and tridotronine. Moving on, which of the following is not a photosynthetic pigment? Is it chlorophyll, phycobilin, carotenoid, or anthocyanin? So out of these options, which is not a photosynthetic pigment? And the right answer here is anthocyanin. A photosynthetic pigment is a pigment that is present in chloroplast or photosynthetic bacteria, which captures the light energy necessary for photosynthesis. So out of these options, anthocyanin is responsible for the colors red, purple, and blue, which are present in fruits and vegetables, and it is not present in the chloroplast. Therefore, it is not a photosynthetic pigment, whereas the other three options are. Next question. Who of the following is known as the father of zoology? Is it Darwin, Aristotle, Haeckel, or Edward Jenner? So if you've seen my first ever video, you would know that the father of zoology is accredited to Aristotle. His work on systematic approach to classification and his use of sociology to uncover relationship between animals has earned this title. Next question. Women have shrill voice because of. So why do women have shrill voice? Is it because of low frequency, high frequency, shrill vocals, or strong epiglottis? So women have shrill voice because of high frequency. Women have shorter vocal cords which vibrate more quickly and produce a higher pitch, while in men, the longer vocal cords vibrate with low frequency, giving them a deeper voice. Thus, women have high-pitched or shriller voice as compared to men. Next question. Prothrombin is responsible for clotting of blood, and it is released by blank. So what is prothrombin released by? Is it released by blood platelets, small intestine, the heart, or large intestine? And the right answer here is blood platelets. Prothrombin is a protein made by the liver. It is one of the several substances known as coagulation factors. The plasma protein, which is converted into thrombin in the presence of thromboplastin, is released by platelets at the site of injury. Next question. Muscles are connected to bones by connective tissue called as blank. So what is it called as? Are they known as tendon, neuron, ligament, or none? And the right answer here is tendon. Tendons are similar to ligaments. Both are made of collagen. Whereas ligament connects one bone to another, the tendon connects the muscle to the bone, which is why the muscles which are connected to the bone are known as tendon. Next question. Which of the following is an example of ball and socket joint in humans? So the ball and socket joint is known as the finger joint, neck joint, hip joint ligament, or wrist joint. And the right answer here is the hip joint ligament. The hip joint is known as the ball and socket joint. The rounded head of the femur articulates with the acetabulum of pelvis bone. Next question. The hydrophilic nature of DNA is due to the presence of. So again, hydrophilic is also known as water-loving, whereas hydrophobic is water-fearing. But in this case, it's the water-loving nature of DNA. So what is it due to? Is it due to the presence of phosphate group, a number of hydrogen bond, thymine base, or the deoxyribose sugar? And the right answer here is phosphate group. And again, I have written a little explanation so you can take it down in your notes. The hydrophilic molecules are those which have a tendency to dissolve readily in water. DNA is hydrophilic in nature because of phosphorus present in the phosphodiester bonds, which have negative charge due to the surplus electron. And the phosphate backbone is exposed to the surface, which can easily interact with water. Next question. What is myrmecology? So what is myrmecology? Is it the study of bees, the study of ants, the study of spiders, or the study of flies? So myrmecology is the study of ants. Myrmecology is a branch of entomology focusing on the scientific study of ants. Next question. Chickenpox is caused by which microorganism? So what is chickenpox caused by? Is it caused by virus, bacteria, fungus, or protozoa? And the right answer here is virus. Chickenpox is caused by Bacillus zoster virus. It causes an itchy rash with small fluid-filled blisters. Next question. Which of the following protein is found in nails? So what is nail made out of? Is it elastin, actin, keratin, or histone? And the right answer here is keratin. Keratin is a type of structural protein which is found in your hair, skin, and nails. So it's a very important protein in the integumentary system. Solutions have the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature are called. So when solutions have the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature, it is called. Is it hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution, colloidal solution, or isotonic? And the right answer here is isotonic solution. Moving on. Gamma rays have the greatest similarity with blank. So which of these options have the greatest similarity with gamma rays? Is it X-ray, alpha rays, beta rays, or UV rays? And the right answer here is X-rays. Gamma rays are a form of electromagnetic radiation, which is also denoted as EMR. They are similar to X-rays, distinguished only by the fact that they are emitted from an excited nucleus. Last question of the day. Ultraviolet rays were discovered by. So who discovered the UV rays? Was it Marconi, Newton, J.W. Ritters, or W. Rontgen? So the correct answer here is J.W. Ritters. John Ritter is known for his discovery of ultraviolet ray in 1801. A year earlier, in 1800, William Herschel discovered infrared. So that's a very important one to remember as well. So we've come to the end of the video, guys. I hope you liked this video and you found it informative. Please don't forget to like the video, comment down below any suggestions you may have, share it with your family, friends, classmates, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.